Turbocharged vehicles are prone to heat soaking, and our EcoBoost Mustang was no exception. So we upgraded the stock intercooler to a bigger, more efficient unit from Full Race. Not only will this bigger intercooler net us more power, it is better for the longevity of our engine as well. To start the removal process of our stock intercooler, we unclip the radiator cover from the car and set it aside. Below and in between the AC condenser and radiator, you can see the stock intercooler. It is going to be removed from the bottom of the car, so the bottom dust cover can be removed. There are quite a few bolts that hold it in place. Now that the intercooler is accessible, remove the band clamps on both sides of the intercooler. Take the set screw out, unplug the air sensor, and then pry the intercooler from its seat in the engine bay. There are 6 bolts that hold a crossbar in place which can be removed. This bar will not be reused with the new intercooler, so it can be set aside. The last part before removing the intercooler is to take off the front bumper. A couple of clips and bolts inside the fender well, followed by the top screws, will do the trick for removing it. Don't forget to unplug the 3 connections for the fog lights and turn signals. In front of the intercooler is now the active grille shutters, which must be removed and will not be reused with the Full Race intercooler. There are 2 bolts in the bumper support, 2 bolts in the radiator support, 1 air sensor, a bracket in the rear that connects the 2 grilles, and a connector for the grille that needs to be removed and unplugged. The grille's motor connection can be zip-tied when the install is finished. It will not hurt the car or throw a check engine light leaving it unplugged. Now that we can pull the intercooler from the car, we can compare it to the new Full Race unit. We can see the major differences, and it's easily understandable why the Full Race intercooler is much more efficient than stock. Starting the installation of the intercooler, the core support must be removed. Unclip the wire harness and then remove the bolts. There are 4 on each side. Transfer the air sensor from the stock to the new intercooler in preparation to mount the Full Race unit. Parts of the plastic need to be trimmed off the car for proper installation of the new intercooler. We used a razor blade to trim each side. Set the new intercooler in place and bolt it down to the lower mounting points. Then the core support brace can be reinstalled. Two holes are required to be drilled in order to mount the top brackets of the intercooler. Once drilled, the intercooler can be bolted in with the supplied hardware. Now that the intercooler is bolted in, the new piping can be installed. Unclamp the stock rubber pipes and install the new Full Race aluminum pipes in its place with the new supplied clamps. Lastly, reconnect the air sensor to finish the installation. Replacing body parts is all that is left to do. The front bumper can go back on the car, reconnect the lights in the bumper, and then bolt it back down at the wheel well and up top by the radiator, along with the radiator cover. Under the car, the dust cover can be put back in place and bolted down with all of its clips and screws, completing our intercooler install. Putting our car on the dyno after our new intercooler upgrade, we picked up an additional 10 horsepower at the rear wheels with this bolt-on upgrade. Along with that, we greatly reduced the possibility of heat soak and increased the longevity of our EcoBoost motor.